Hello and welcome to the NUEL's CSGO University Championship Finals between Warwick Stretchy Boys and Bath A. Of course, this is brought to you by the NUEL and their sponsors ROG and Twitch. I'm Ollie. I'm joined today on the desk by Dr. Pi and Kieran Q.
We're just going to go straight into it. Dr. Pi, talk to me about Bath A.
Well, Bath A team, they're a bit of a surprise team. They didn't really have a good showing in last year. They did come third place, or second place, actually beating our team in winter, so we're not going to bring that up. Bad memories for us. But they did drop out of that spring season. They didn't really have a showing in summer. So they have been off the radar, but they've come back strong into this winter season. They've brought on the core roster. They have Ricochet, Mystery, Deep Fried, Bellamy and SOS, which is a really strong roster. They've got some really strong overall players. And coming into this, they're one of the strongest individual teams in the Uni League. But against Warwick, it's a bit all in the air. I don't want to put the nail in the coffin, but
we get to the predictions later, don't we?
We've only just started this segment,
I'm
dude.
sorry,
Come on. Would you say, I was discussing this with Kieran before, do you feel like Bath is the second strongest team or the first strongest team here today? Sorry, in the championship.
In the championship, it's a hard one to talk about because there are so many teams that can kind of shine against other teams, and it's really in fluctuation. There's no defined strongest team except Warwick. Every other team, they can beat one, they can lose to another, and it's all up in the air because it's just Uni CS and there's no real strong point to it. Teams just drop out left, right, and centre. If we can beat a team.
I know, that's what I was about to say. I was like, last year we were the only team to take a map off Warwick for the entire season. I don't know what that says about everyone else, but
the flame has already begun. All right.
Sorry, you did bring it on, so you gotta respect it.
It's true. Is there a
particular style with which Bath is going to be utilising? Are they a fast, aggressive team? Are they a much more slower paced one? Or are
They're
they
similar to us? They're a puggy style team. They try and bring some structure into their game. They don't play super puggy. They have some defaults. They just have some kind of basic strategies, but they don't work so much as a team as compared to Warwick, which is kind of the real difference and the contrast in the two teams. But Bath are a puggy team. They just kind of play a very casual style. They just look to get the first pick. They look to then snowball off that. And if they can win the rounds, then hopefully they can win 16, win a map, and then win 3 and win the series.
Well, let's move on to their opponents now, Kieran.
Warwick. Yeah, so Warwick, unlike Bath, probably not a very puggy team at all. They'll be very, very structured, very slow, very methodical, very utility-based sort of team. Unfortunately, they do kind of settle into a default pretty much every single round. I'd say on average we'll probably get about 3 rounds of a half where they will just straight off the bat commit to a site. But in general they will do defaults, full site executes, and it's good to see. It's nice to see a structured team within a more like novice sort of environment like the university kind of scene. But from a viewing perspective, it should be interesting to see because it very much depends on how it is that Bath kind of counter that, because if you're playing into a default and the other team's doing this, you can counter that by playing aggressively, but you need to do it in a structured way. You can't just be running into wherever it is on a certain map, but knowing the guy's there and kind of just dying and being like, yeah, that happened.
Bad memories.
Yeah, bad memories from me doing it all the time. Yeah, so we need to see some teamwork coming out of Bath. We need to see some pop flashes coming in to choke points to the map where they know that, especially on their CT side, the CT side, they cannot be passive. If they play passive on CT side, Warwick will destroy them. They're full site executes. They're far too structured, and their individual players are, in my opinion, better than Bath's. So they cannot rely just on taking one-to-one aim duels either, because they will probably lose the majority of them.
So for the viewers that maybe haven't seen Warwick Stretchy Boys before, could you tell us a little bit about their history and their previous successes?
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, Warwick pretty much haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Ever since their roster change of bringing Fades in, they are undefeated essentially in all championships. They've dropped maps on rare occasions.
But that's it. I mean, even last season, we were talking because Manchester took a map off them, and that was a bit of a talking point. And I was unaware that we were the only team to have done that until kind of way afterwards. And that says a lot, because if you go through an entire season of NUEL and you lose one map.
Yeah.
That's massive.
I've seen better.
Well, I'm sure we can.
But they have dropped 2 maps this season.
Yeah,
They've
no.
lost to
Oh,
Bruce
I was-
Vipers and CNCS, I do believe.
Yeah, I was going to say this season they do not look as strong as they did last season. That's one thing I will say. And when I saw them at the Fragsock LAN at the weekend, they did not look like the team that I remembered.
But is that because the other teams were looking to develop upon their own style? Because you've got teams like York that are trying to bring in that structured style like Warwick has.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely there's an element of teams are getting better in general, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more structured sort of Counter-Strike team CS, especially from sides that have a bit more of an even playing field in terms of player skill level, rather than just maybe one player on the team who's like a lot better than everyone else, who just like tries to solo carry every single game. But yeah, like it's nice to see when we see teams like York, we see teams like Bath here today. Lancaster's got a very good squad out at the moment. Who do we lose against?
Swansea.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
They
no,
almost knocked us out.
Yeah, the Swansea are doing very well. We have all these other
Yeah.
teams, and as far as I'm aware, like Bath is in that like pool with them.
Yeah,
those
that
other teams.
A-tier team. You've got Warwick on that S tier.
Yeah.
And then you've got some A-tier teams and teams that are just trying to improve. And I do believe it is kind of that point in Uni CS where there is more prize pool, there is more tournaments, there's more opportunities for a team to go, hey, look, if we commit the time, we can win several £100 VIP trips to Katowice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's worth it for the teams now to put in that a couple of hours extra a week to practice, to scrim, to get better, to try and compete against Warwick. So you just don't go, oh, it's Warwick. We'll let them have another holiday for free. Like, it's our time to take it off them.
Yeah.
And Bath will certainly be trying to do that today. Are there any standout players which you feel the audience should be keeping their eye on today?
Yes. On the side of Warwick, we have Fades. So he came into the roster not too long ago. I think near the end of it was spring of last year.
Yeah.
And he's an absolute monster. He's a pug god. He just absolutely destroys people on the server. There's no nice way to put it. He will just beat you in every 1v1. He is one of the strongest individual players in all of Uni Counter-Strike.
Yeah. It's nice to see that element that he brings, though, to the Warwick side, because one of the criticisms that I ever had about Warwick was the fact that, they were so structured, but they were so very slow, and they lacked any sort of spontaneity, where it was like, something's happened on a map, we need to take advantage of this right now. They didn't have that element to them. Which to their detriment. But now with Fades in the lineup, he's one of them players who's he'll make plays. And as far as I can tell from watching some of their games, he is very good in clutch situations. 1vX's.
Even just on entry, he just goes out and he'll go, okay, I'll go walk up con, gets 3 picks, A, B, short, whatever. He's just so good.
Yeah.
Another player to look at is Ricochet from Bath. We talk a lot about Warwick, but we do have to give credit to Bath. They have got into this final, and they do deservedly have to be there because they have some individual players. And Ricochet, I've seen him in this ESL Benelux LAN. He's got a very odd LAN setup. He's got, I think, the desk spacing of over 3 people.
Yeah.
His teammates hate him, but he does get those frags, and he has the burst potential as well.
Yeah, I mean... from Bath's perspective, it's going to be down to Mystery and to Rico, like Ricochet, to do really well. They need to take advantage of playing together aggressively at the start of the round and getting some frags, winning the possession, the percentage in their favour, and then from there taking advantage of that and moving forward.
We have about 5 minutes till the veto, I've been told. So till then, got to fill for time. It sounds like you guys think Warwick's going to win. Still not to the predictions quite yet. So we'll start off. How do you feel that Bath could clutch this one out? And if they do clutch it, how close will it be? Even if they do all the optimal things.
I think going on to Mirage, I know both these teams like to play Mirage a lot. Warwick, they've been showing some weaknesses on it. They have been taken to overtime. Especially at the Fragsock LAN last weekend, they got taken to overtime at least on Mirage, I think on 3 occasions.
Yep.
And so They are a pretty strong team on it. They know how to play it. They do a lot of mid stuff. It's a very mid-centric team, so they try and base stuff off that. But when you are getting taken to overtime 3 times in a row, you got to start looking at it and start kind of trying to develop your own game on it. Because coming into this, Bath also like to play Mirage. They play a lot more of a puggy style, and I think that might be the style that is going to counter them.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the game against Warwick on Mirage at the weekend, I was watching one. A team who was playing against them, I think it might have been Swansea or York. Was it Swansea? They did literally the same thing every single round, and it worked. It was crazy to see. They literally did the exact same mid-take against Warwick, and they never adapted. And I think that's one of the issues that Warwick will have, is if Bath can find something, maybe a certain player isn't hitting their shots today. A certain player isn't, in their favourable position on the map, because that's just where their team has placed them. And they find that, and they start exploiting that. Warwick, I find, they find it hard to adapt, because they are so structured in the way that they do everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will be a closer game than kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah. And Alan, the coach, never forget to include Alan when talking about Warwick.
The X factor, yeah.
he just adds that next level. He gives demo analysis, everything. He just kind of tops up the team. And coming into this tournament, last week he was calling for them behind the players. This week, I do believe the admin has implemented the kind of stricter rules where you have 4 30-second timeouts where the coach can speak.
Really?
And so, coming into this game, if something's not going in the favour of Warwick, and they use their timeouts, and Alan isn't effectively able to break down and find out what is the issue, I think they could snowball and lose it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I did kind of think that was rather strange was seeing Alan calling, because, I mean, it's great for a team because it frees all the players up to focus on their individual play. Problem is that you can't just do that, because eventually you'll come to a tournament where Alan can't call. He's not allowed, because there's only 5 people in the server, right? So you're not allowed to communicate with them during a round. Who's calling? Who listens to who? There needs to be that sort of hierarchy in the team where it's like, this person is the person that you listen to.
Yeah.
There is no debating with that. When that's called, that happens. And if they don't have that, and someone needs to take charge, things can get quite heated in a game of CS. So, you never know.
I'm worried standing next to you.
What, me? I mean, yeah, my opinion is that Warwick probably won't have that many issues.
Yeah.
Right?
We're talking really low chance scenarios here.
I'm talking if Bath, particularly
Somehow
Ricochet, just pops off.
Yeah, just immense. Walk out one site. Doesn't even matter if it's a stack, just getting all the headshots. That's essentially the win condition of Bath. They have to just be on a tier they've never ever been before. Otherwise, I think Warwick's structured style and their individual play is just going to shut them down anyway. Yeah,
because I mean, from the one time we ever did beat them last season when they were in their sort of like prime, the only way we beat them was literally by running around stupidly and shooting them. There was no formation. It was, I'm pushing mid. That's just what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to push underpass here. Or I'm just going to go into Palace. I'm just going somewhere every round and making a play. And I'd just find kills. And then they just didn't know what to do, because I would just be random, Because when you play a default, they know what to expect. They execute on that. And you have nothing to do. There is no counter to that, because you're sitting passively. If you play aggressively, you have a chance. So we'll see.
Another thing to mention, of course, is the LAN factor. People just play differently on LAN.
Yeah. I think with Warwick, now they have enough LAN experience, so they won Spring 2018, NUEL Spring 2018, a LAN final. So they won King of the North last year, LAN finals. They won Fragsoc, LAN finals. They have enough LAN experience. They have enough LAN wins.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a factor for them. I think they enjoy playing on LAN. They enjoy being around each other. They just enjoy playing together. Coming into Bath, I don't think they've had any LAN experience except maybe Society LANs. I know Ricochet, obviously, he's done things, but with a different team. And so I don't think
it is a different feeling as well. Like, for the whole team to be coming together, I mean, a lot of the time you don't really meet each other in person, even if you play together all the time, So, you know, sitting down next to the person that you're kind of so used to playing with, it's you're in an unfamiliar place, like little things like the height of the desk, where your chair is, if you've got armrests, like all these little tiny things can really throw you off mentally.
Yeah.
And if people aren't used to that, then...
And then you got to take into consideration Ricochet's setup. Obviously, that
Ricochet's taken 3 desks.
He's put his keyboard on his teammate's mouse pad.
He actually did, though.
Now, obviously, they said it was...
Wait, what?
So his keyboard's here. There.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to game like this.
And so his teammate, he's playing his AWP, but he's apparently a high DPI AWPer, so it's okay. I think that's what they said. But, you know, you're never going to be very happy. And coming into this team, Ricochet, he might not have the friendliest teammates to have... Oh, SOS, can I put my keyboard on your mouse pad? And so it could become more of a factor here.
There's also screaming at your opponent. They are in the same room.
I do enjoy that.
You do enjoy that, in fact.
Yeah, we've seen clips of John doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Some phrases which won't be said on the stream. But you have the ability to tilt your opponent in some sense.
Yeah.
I was watching the exact same setup against York and Swansea on Saturday with Warwick. And one thing that really interested me was watching how relaxed they were. They just sat there and they just laughed. I found that...
got that confidence.
Yeah, I found that surreal. I was always kind of under the impression, maybe it's just because of myself, but like very intense, you know?
Yeah.
But they weren't at all. They were just sat there. They were laughing between each other.
They deal with the pressure really
well.
Yeah,
they were just kind of... It was as if they were playing matchmaking.
Yeah.
And...
That's what most games are for them.
Well, to be fair, yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that'll be as easy for them today. And it wasn't as easy for them at the weekend. And they started losing, and then they kind of, you know, formed up again as a core, and stopped kind of laughing around so much. But you know, there's a great element of that where if you're, you know, relaxed and having a laugh with your team still, and things are going kind of smoothly for you. You get that, you get that confidence. It's a best of 5, so and that's a long.
It's an endurance game.
Yeah, I mean, some people. I find it quite funny sometimes when people say this, but I've never played 5 games straight in my life. I'm like, yeah, well, these guys are going to have to, and they're going to have to play at their best the whole time.
Yeah.
Personally, I've played 5 arms races, and I didn't win any of them, but you know,
You'll
wasn't
get
on
there,
land.
you'll get there.
Oh, one day I will get there.
Name a better duo, Keelan not winning.
Okay. All right, that's Dr. Pie for you. Unfortunately,
do I have to leave?
Yeah, get up. Bye. We haven't got the vetoes quite yet. No idea what's happening with that.
Well, we can predict the basic
but
vetoes.
There you go. Start breaking the maps down for me.
Well, they'll probably ban Overpass straight away. That is their perma ban. They have the widest map pool of all the teams, I think. They're happy. They've told me they're happy to play all maps. I think that's Alan just being maybe a bit arrogant. Because coming onto it, they haven't played Inferno. They played Inferno once since spring last year, or since the live finals last year, until last weekend where they played it a couple of times because of the format where there was more best of 3s. But coming into this, I don't know what Bath's bans are. I don't believe they've played Dust 2. I think Dust 2 is their perma ban. So coming into this, I think Bath can float anything. They just go ban whatever they want. So probably going to be something like a Nuke, a Train, a map that they know they won't win. I think Warwick have had nearly 100% win rate on, probably is 100% win rate on Train and on Nuke. They are just undefeated. They are, because on those maps you have to have a structured style. Like, you just have to have that structured style. You can't do anything else. You can't just run out. It's so difficult on Nuke and Train to just go out and just go, I'll run outside, I'll get 3 frags. You just get shut down by utility usage, and that is what Warwick aim to use here.
Yeah, and these are maps often that people don't like playing, regardless of playing in a team or not. You know, a lot of people don't play Nuke. I think I have about 9 games on Face It on Nuke. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I'd have to play. Yeah, exactly. Then I'd have to play Warwick on them. I'm like, oh, come on, like that's not fair. But that's why they do it. You know, that's why they pick these maps like Train and Nuke, because they can play them as a team. It's very unfamiliar for their opponent, and they can learn them very well. And in a best of 3, in a best of 5, they can pick these maps and win them every single time.
Yeah.
And I was watching Warwick before practicing on Nuke smoke executes and things like that.
Oh.
I was just like, oh
Oh
god,
no.
oh no.
We don't want to have to see that
When
kind
you-
of bully beatdown.
When you get on nuke and the windows break and you go, I didn't know there were windows on this map.
That's
I
definitely
actually said
that's
that
a
in the
direct,
game.
That's a direct quote from us.
Direct quote from me in game.
Every time we play a nuke game, we go into a piss round on CT. We hear glass breaking. We're like, GG.
I feel like the players have to apologise to the observer when they pick nuke, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
nuke
is just
is-
atrocious.
Nuke is one of those maps which is difficult to observe, but I think we're going to give it easy to Dan by just not letting Bath have any frags.
Yeah.
They're
Just
gonna
watch
bomb
for the
out.
outside smokes every round.
But that's what you have to do on nuke. You have to do those outside smokes. There is no other way to play nuke at the moment if you want to kind of definitively win that T side.
It is.
You do
kind
those
of,
outside smokes, they don't know if you're down secret. So you can just play inside. They still have to rotate as if you're in secret. And if you go down secret, well, you get fighting there, and the forces are spread out thin. And so it just makes it so much easier on the T side if you do those two T smokes. And so, I don't know. I think we're talking a lot about Warwick. I think it is pretty handedly in their favour. Everything is just for them. Like, they've had so much time even here, because Bath only turned up late. Or just go throw them in the pit and say they turned up late. So, Bath haven't had that time to warm up.
How many people have you flamed now? In like
Pretty much everyone. I mean,
small little
that's kind of what we're
segment?
known for, isn't it?
How many stickers are on my back?
Too many.
I don't want to show anyone.
Yeah, I mean, Bath for me, if they're going to win this, I've got to win their map pick.
We got to do a better pick. Vetoes, they're too easy. It's gonna be a 3-0, guaranteed. 3-0, 3-1 if they're lucky.
That's it. It very much depends on do they win their map.
Yeah.
If they win their map, it's 3-1. If they don't, it's 3-0.
Yeah.
And the only chance they have, in my opinion, is Cash or Mirage, and that's it.
Well, they could win both, and then bit up in the air,
But nah.
Well, either way, veto issues, they're happening. So we're going to cut to a break, and hopefully we'll be back, and then we can get the veto underway. I'll see you shortly.
I met you on a Friday, downtown Avenue Way. I didn't know that you were gonna be my getaway. I swear I never learned, can't live without the burn. So I light it up and feel the rest. This how you wanna be remembered. Doing broad side streets, cold like December. Is this what you came so far for? And I know you're worth more. So why don't we go and leave the city and drive past concrete? And I know it's so pretty, but I can't do it no more. So why don't we go and leave the city and drive past concrete? And I know it's so pretty, but I can't do it no more. So why don't we go and
And we're back with the NUEL CSGO University Championship. Finals, hopefully, for some vetoes now.
Hopefully. Thank you,
Hopefully.
Nigel, for eventually typing exclamation mark ready. It does get me sometimes. Sometimes you got to do dot ready, dot R, slash R.
It must be so complicated for them.
I know some of the players got it, but obviously the communication on work side is not good enough to tell them how to ready up. It doesn't bode well for them, does it, Kieran?
No, it does not, John. But
Inferno banned, Overpass banned.
So Bath has banned Inferno because Overpass is a Warwick perma ban. So Bath
there we go.
pick cash. Ooh, easy. That's an easy loss.
Any more detail about that one, or is it just...
I don't think Bath had a particularly strong run-in on cash against Loughborough. I think they got absolutely battered 16-4 when Tottenham wasn't playing for Loughborough. So, when that happens, the map doesn't look good for you. Obviously, Warwick are not known to be the strongest cash team.
No.
We got first pick of train for Warwick.
Yeah, that's pretty
A
much to
solid
be expected.
16-0.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
There's no two
Standard
ways
thus
about
far.
it.
There's unfortunately it's gonna have to be a case where Bath pulls something out on cash because there is 0% chance they're winning
Yeah.
train.
Unless they hit some god tier strats, like
No.
Rush B, perhaps?
I mean,
perhaps.
we're not even kidding. Yes. They are going to have to do what me and John do on train, right? Where we get one guy to run out A main and we just throw flashbangs over, run back, buy more flashes and throw them again.
To be fair, that would be a strat that they would pull if Loughborough got to the final. Myself, Kieran, and Trouto from Loughborough, we did practice that strat heavily in MM. We threw 16 flashes over. We had about 100 effective flashes each game.
Worked every round.
Trouto had many kills. It was really effective on the T side. On the CT side, not so effective, but
So they picked Nuke. Was that? Bath
picked Nuke. All right, I don't know if that's a throw pick or they are actually genuinely good on Nuke. If we look at the map stats here, they have played it once and won it once. So,
100% win rate.
actually,
What could go wrong?
I didn't know they were
I'm actually.
astounded.
Yeah.
Bath just accidentally picked Nuke, I've been told.
Yeah,
That sounds more like it.
Yeah.
That's.
I'm
yeah.
not saying we're analysts, but we are analysts.
I was gonna say I was like if they've done
I've got
that,
you.
I'm not even kidding. I think they might be doing that as like a troll pick, saying we're going to lose this, so we might as well just do it quickly. But now that I know they've not actually picked that, that makes a lot more sense.
It does fare a little bit better for them. So
Yeah.
what maps are left in the pool? I don't even remember the map pool.
Do you play Counter Strike anymore?
Dust
I do
2
play a lot of
hasn't been
Minecraft.
mentioned. I don't think Mirage has been mentioned.
Yeah, there's Dust 2 Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Dust 2, Mirage, and Overpass been banned. Inferno banned. What's left?
Just
Office.
maybe we've gone through them all.
I've probably have.
It's been a long day.
Sorry, I couldn't
It's been a
think
long
about
day.
it because you just started talking about Minecraft and it just made me laugh, man. You shouldn't be doing that. It's meant to be professional.
It's a Freudian slip.
Yeah, so you got Dust and Mirage left. Like in my opinion, I think
Bath should.
Bath
pick
should.
Mirage.
No,
Dust,
it should
Dust.
go Dust.
Yeah.
Because
The pug map.
yeah,
The pug map.
Dust 2 is like notorious for aiming. If you can it's a bit different now in the pro scene, but in the
In the MM
in
scene.
the MM world down here.
The UK Uni MM
Yeah,
scene.
it's a pug map still, and I genuinely believe they actually might have a chance on that because I don't think I've ever seen Warwick play Dust.
They apparently, for the stats, have played it once and lost it. So 0% win rate. They
There
are
you
one
go.
of the worst teams on Dust 2 apparently, statistically. They're taking a sample size and maybe the best, but we'll go with it.
They've restarted the veto.
Okay, welcome to the NUEL Counter-Strike Winter 2018 Finals. Here today we have a Warwick versus Bath. Vetoes will be with us shortly.
Yeah, don't worry. We know you waited for 20 minutes there in the break for the vetoes.
That was
come
actually
back
just
here.
a dry run we did.
Yeah,
we didn't
we were
realise
just
we streamed
pretending.
it.
Sorry.
The finals brought to you in 2019.
Oh, if we keep going on at this rate.
How about we talk about a topic which I think you wanted to mention previously, Minecraft?
I would like to pick let's do a veto on our favourite stretchy boys.
Okay, right.
So we'll start off with you, Kieran.
You
Who
want to
is-
know my favourite stretchy boy?
Yes, I would like to know your favourite stretchy boy.
MFX.
MFX.
all day.
How is that a veto? Isn't that just picking your favourite?
Yeah.
I've got to go Coach Allen.
That's a good shout. That.
He is on the new roster.
He loves it.
You know,
He's well chuffed. I picked him.
I'm a big Fades fan. You know, he's got those farmer hands.
Oh, Lord.
So,
Mirage was the pick instead of Nuke.
So they're not
Yeah.
restarting it. Right,
Maybe.
okay then. So Mirage instead of Nuke. So it's Dust 2 and Nuke are left. Right, so
okay,
we've got
so,
basically
anyway.
a possible win for Bath if they get Cash, and an absolute loss if they get Nuke.
So it's Cash, Train, Mirage, Nuke, Dust. Best of fives are too much for my small brain.
I know, there's so many maps.
It's big numbers.
When the amount of maps in the
Yeah,
pool
they-
are bigger than my
My IQ.
I don't think they've won this, unfortunately. Like, just looking at the maps that are there,
They have a chance to
they
pick up one map.
if they get Mirage and Cash, that's literally their only chance.
Yeah.
Because after that, they just
And
go
then-
into the realm of all those like
If they get
periphery
Mirage and
maps.
Cash, then they take it to Dust 2 on the final map, and that is where there is a chance.
Yeah.
And if you do go kind of have two maps against Warwick in a best of five, you know.
Honestly,
pretty
I don't think I saw Warwick struggle against York simply by the
Yeah.
fact that they weren't used to losing.
Yeah.
They weren't used to being pressure put on them. So, and I thought they lost way too many rounds against York in
Yeah.
ridiculous fashions, simply down to that pressure. So we'll have to see. Like, if they get a good start off with Bath, you know, on Cash, Mirage, some of these more puggy maps, we might see an interesting game.
Yeah.
Then the storm will hit as we enter into the trains and the nukes of the world. And there it'll be a whitewash, I'm pretty sure. And then we might see a redemption in Dust. But
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, like if the first two maps are lost, by then it's over.
Yeah. This is Warwick's series to lose.
Yeah,
Bath
absolutely.
can't win it. Warwick will lose it. They have everything in their favour. They are the ultimate favourite team. Bath, they stand very little chance, so it is all on Warwick to kind of choke here.
Nothing much more to say. Well, I think it is that time. The gloves are coming off.
Oh my god.
Final predictions.
Final
Kieran,
predictions.
can you start me off?
My prediction is going to be Warwick with a 3-0.
Unsurprisingly, I will go with 3-0 for Bath. Oh wait, 3-0 for Warwick, obviously.
3-0 for
no
Warwick.
chance.
I am less informed about CSGO than these two
Just
gentlemen
mimic what
here.
we said and you'll sound smart.
So I'm going with a 3-0 for Warwick Stretchy Boys.
Hey.
I just think they can do it. And now we're going to hand it over to the casters for their predictions.
Okay, seeing overpass out the map pool, I would have to say that again.
Warwick. Very, very short and sweet, and I do have to agree as well. Maybe we'll see more likely a 3-0, possibly a 3-1 if Bath are definitely on their game. As much as we love a good underdog story here in the UK, unfortunately I don't see it happening in this one. So that is just the situation. I've been wrong before, but just looking at the whole context, the whole situation, very, very unlikely.
Yeah, as the guys talked about, it's very tough to try and catch a map looking at what's in the pool. And Train is one of those maps in particular where it can be demoralising if you are not set up for it. Key area there is going to be the A main area, but then you've also got some opportunities over towards B where one player can lock it down as well on the CT side. So it's very, very tough for them going forward as to how they can even dig a foothold in there and get any confidence on Train, especially as it's not going to be their map next time out. So if you're staring down the barrel of a 2-0 against a team that have got the prowess of Warwick to try and pull something out, super difficult. It's a mental battle as much as it is getting the frags in the server.
Yeah, I think if Bath can just get the slight mental edge, perhaps, as well. They need to cling to every single advantage that they can if they're going to even challenge into the later maps against Warwick. And whether they'll be able to do that, that is still a huge, huge question that we are still yet to see solved. But the casters, the analyst desk, excuse me, talked about some of the win conditions for Bath, and you know, one could say that chaos may be their friend.
Yeah, potentially. It's interesting. The couple of maps cropped up that don't get played very often. You'll tend to find that your map pool, if you don't play together that regularly due to other commitments and that sort of thing, will be quite small in terms of what you can do. So maps like Train and maps like Nuke are the ones that are often not touched. Overpass, one of those as well, which Bath looked pretty strong on. That's out of the equation, so we can rule it out straight away. And that would have been my first choice for them to pick up a map from this, maybe. So, yeah, I mean, you can catch someone cold. Nuke, so key is that outside area with the smokes and the utility, that sort of thing. And Dust 2 is the ultimate pug map. If you catch that last, there's no excuse for players not to be warmed up.
Exactly. If we go to a map 5, then, as Ollie said, the gloves are definitely going to be off, because I think Bath would feel very, very confident on that map. It really plays to their sort of play style, and it's a map that's been in Counter-Strike since pretty much the beginning, and there is no excuse to not know how to play that map. It's ingrained in every single CS player's mind. I think if I was Bath's captain right now, I would rather that be the 4th map rather than the decider map.
Yeah.
But because Warwick are going to be so strong on Nuke with their set strategies, but I think the pick order here is not quite in the favour of Bath.
No, everything pretty much counting against them, all things considered. I mean, Nuke is going to be interesting if we do get to see it. I don't get to see it that often, and towards the top level, teams have worked out some strategies to deal with the smokes outside, throwing in some well-placed Molotovs to kind of produce a few gaps in the smoke, which is something that is being talked about, but whether these guys will have that in their arsenal, I'm thinking probably not. It is just going to be a wall of smoke outside, and then go from there. It's quite predictable, a bit like Dust 2 is predictable with the pick mid, hold mid, and then execute on the site with about 40 seconds left to go with all of the utility that you've got in your hands. So, yeah, I think we're going to start to see, if we get to maps 4 and 5, some fairly similar patterns from both teams. But, you know, it's the meta. If we're talking about Overwatch, we'd be playing goats right now, every map. So there you go.
Yeah, just we can see the vetoes and the picks up on the screen once again. And one thing that may play into Bath's favour here is on Warwick's picks. Of course, they get the side pick, so they pick CT for both both Train and Nuke, and they are both maps where there is a slight CT side bias. So if they can get the ball rolling on those maps, then there might be a chance for an upset there.
Yes, definitely. But to play devil's advocate on it, Train CT. If you haven't got your setup right for A main in particular, then you are in for one heck of a bad day. On Nuke, you need to be able to do something about the outside secret or the other plays that come off of the worry about outside secret. If you haven't got that dialed in, if you haven't got your flashes utility in the upper areas when those hits come in, for example, then again, you're in for a bad day. So in theory, they play a CT side, but I've seen them go the complete opposite direction as well.
Yeah, exactly. And something that the analyst desk also talked about was the entire sort of LAN environment, because these players that we have here up on the stage today, they may not have played in this situation before. I know most of Warwick have, but especially on that Bath side, the LAN jitters will be a very big thing as well.
Yeah, 100%. The amount of times that I've been feeling pretty crispy about my Counter-Strike, come to a LAN and then absolutely tanked it. It's unbelievable. It happens. It is far more common than you would maybe expect. It's completely different, and it's just not comfortable.
Yep, we're going straight into the game then. It's going to be Bath on that CT side, Warwick on the T side. There's a little bit of an opening exchange there going on in mid, as it's not a straight rush out onto a site like we see on some pistol rounds. You see some anti-flash angles from the Warwick Stretchy Boys currently inside of A main. It looks like it's definitely going to be a hit, as the rest of the team will start to creep their way towards that particular site. I have to wonder if we'll see it. This smoke, that's the cross smoke going out for Original G. They've got Molotov and a flashbang to get themselves on the site as well. Original G almost getting capped in the head there by the player playing quad. And oh my god, that's the first frag of the game going towards Nigel. Mystery getting himself in as well. Original G cleaning up the site now, so Warwick will be able to get this bomb down. But Rico playing on top of the little hut there, on towards Highway, gets the frag. And Rico, oh, he's got another kill as well. And he's tapping away at the player at Forklift. Only one player left now for Warwick. And this retake is going incredibly well for Bath. They will take the first pistol round of the entire series. That is the exact start they need.
Yeah, super strong work. Great retake. Got to say credit to Rico for the 4K, obviously. But For Warwick Stretchy Boys, they were maybe a little too slow getting in there. Bath, they were able to use the smoke cover to their advantage to wander back in and get the site control and produce that flank. So a really solid, really tidy looking retake, and they've played that well.
They have played it very well. Therefore, Bath will take the first round of the series. On towards the second round now. It's going to be a Deagle buy coming out for the Stretchy Boys. Rico trying to play around the edge of the smoke. MFX finds one. Rico able to trade out, though, playing under the counter boost. He'll slowly back himself away. No need to get over-aggressive against these Deagles. 4v4 situation with 1 minute 30 left on the clock. And now Warwick, they're just starting to reassess their options a little bit. Kills going either way in the early game. They're on this very, very, very spread default right now, and they do have a lot of time here, Crossy, just to reassess their options, decide where they want to go. Riku is just having a little bit of a peek into Garage. There's another fantastic shot left on Fades. Can he find one more? He is getting peeked out very, very wide by Riku, and Riku knows exactly where he is.
Rico's going to want to try and lock that down if he can. Does pick up that frag. Possibility for a guy to have stepped out of garage and backed up, but you probably wouldn't have expected that. Rico may be overcommitting a little too much, but with the ability that he has, plus knowing that he needs to make some plays against the dominant Warwick Stretchy Boys, he has decided to go for it, and it's good to see him confident early doors.
Yeah, Mason again tied down original G, also will fall to that FAMAS of SOS there as Barthe will get that second round win. It's crucial not to get instantly reset after you win a pistol round.
Yeah, for sure. Couple of tidy little 1-digs. I think they were quite keen to get Rico at a mid, but if he is going to be locking that area down, then you've got to be careful. Mid is one area on this map where you can rack up some huge scores on both sides in terms of your frag charts. Often it's done with an AWP, but I've seen it done effectively with M4s as well. You just have to be careful of the AWP from boost more than anything else as they stack up, and they want to have a little go at B this time around. Nigel has the opportunity to make prey on Deep Fry inside the checkers, and that's going to open doors for him.
It is. Rowan jumps down off of the vent, though. Able to get that fast rotate in to try and defend this B site. And Warwick aren't really getting very aggressive in it. They're sitting back in that toxic position right now, not wanting to commit to this push just yet. But there's a kill in towards Garage. Riku picking up Fades' head right there as Riku, he will continue to hold at the white box position, but the B take is falling apart now for the Warwick Stretchy Boys. Mystery and Rowan able to pick up frags to their name. So a 4v2 situation now that Warwick just has to manage. Where do they decide to go? Mid is looking a little bit open here, so that's a little bit of map control being given away from the CT side.
Yeah, it's still doable. They should be able to get something out of this potentially. It's two of them, and it'll be two opponents in each site going for a 2-2 split. SOS, he's got the potentially tougher shot from the high ground down into highway if Mason can find that, but they haven't really left enough time now as they go in through the vents. Maybe go try and find a plant in there. Mystery in the meantime going to be clearing out from mid, so he's going to be giving information to his team as they look to try and get this done. 15 seconds left to go. Opportunity for a spray down. MFX maybe should have come up with that.
Bomb does go down. Mason will have time to recover it. Does he have time to plant? You have to. 4 seconds is... Oh, I think he'll only just get in the plant, but he's going to get closed in very, very quickly by the CTs. Bomb will go down. That's some extra bonus money going in the way of Warwick. So that is an important win in this round. But overall, it's 3 on the board for Bath. They're having the dream start.
Definitely passing go and collecting $800 for the bomb plant. I maybe would have liked to have seen a bit of a play on that highway when they had the mid control. It's an easier shot with the AK going up towards the quad area than it is for the guy there. I tend to play quad with an AWP, and it's super tough. You've not got many pixels to aim for, and I don't like being in that position. So I think they maybe could have gone for that, got themselves into A, and would have been easy to defend and had the numbers and the time.
Fades watching for the push in towards Garage with Mason picking up a kill on towards SOS as well. So very quickly into the round, Bath are down to 3, but they do get a kill in reply. Riku picking up yet another frag in this game as Warwick again not really committing until very, very late on in the round. They're just searching for the early picks, and right now they definitely have gone either way with a slight advantage in this round to the Warwick Stretchy Boys side. Mystery posted up with the AWP on the B side, waiting for any aggression. And the aggression is going to come through thick and fast as the flashes will go through. The Stretchy Boys will exit their way out onto the side. Trey's going either way. Mystery with the AWP gets 2. He gets the 3rd as well. Absolutely fantastic. Can't find the 4th. And it's a 1v1 retake now for Riku to manage against MFX.
His opportunity, I know he won't go for it, but maybe could have wrapped all the way around to A. I guess maybe didn't know where Rico's coming from, but this is going to be the time to break the momentum. Rico's on an absolute tear so far. MFX, though, looking around all the angles, needs some kind of sound key for where it's going to come from. Rico's not going to give it. He's going to YOLO straight into this site and try and find the player.
Yep, exactly. He has a little bit of time to work with as the smoke fades, and Rico will find MFX right in the open. 4th round will go the way of Bath. Warwick yet to get themselves onto the board. And, you know, with all that we were talking about in the pre-game, in the analyst desk, I don't think we expected this good of a start.
No, not at all. And a timeout comes in, a little time to talk it over for Warwick Stretchy Boys. It's fairly simple, I think. They're just not committing fully to any of the pushes that they're going for. They are allowing opportunities for the retake to come in. And I'm not sure really where this hesitation is coming from. If they're making the opening picks, you've got to go and do something with them. So I think it's pretty key at this stage. Just keep going for their pushes as and when they can. And, you know, the chances will come. Mystery's not going to do that with an AWP from B site every single time, is he?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, one point that's very, very important to bring up that the analyst desk had brought up was we're using basically Valve CSGO major rules right now, where the coach cannot talk during live play. They have to talk during a timeout, and that could be what is causing this mid-round confusion from Warwick right now, because they're used to having their coach actually taking more of an IGL role, and it's just showing right now because mid-round they get the picks going either way, and then they go, oh wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, push something would be a good way to start, and maybe that's why I needed to have the little chance to talk it over and figure out, okay, when we get a pick, guys, let's work on that and see what happens. So I'm sure they'll be well and truly on point for what they're looking to do now. Minute and 10 left to go in the 5th round. Double AWP setup coming in from Mystery and SOS. Difficult spot for SOS up there towards quad. He needs to make sure that the mid protection is in there, or it's very easy for him to be trapped with very little for him to do, and he could get swarmed from there. Nice work from Rowan in the vents, though, and they're mixing up their positions and just giving Stretchy Boys some different looks.
Yeah, exactly. Rowan will get bent down a little bit. Rico, though, he was the only player trying to defend that mid position, so mid control gotten right now from Warwick as they try to find their way up highway. MFX getting deep throw through the smoke in towards Z as well. SOS blocked with the AWP. What can they do? Absolutely nothing, as Warwick will get themselves on towards that A site. What's a Mystery and what does Rowan do in this situation? They might even just decide to save that weaponry.
Yeah, potentially. And as soon as I called it, it happens. Rico, he's got such a vital role there, especially if they're using an AWP in quad. The AWPer doesn't have that much maneuverability, so he's pretty much pinned there. And the other guy that's in the A site, who's usually around about forklift, etc., maybe he can slow up enough with enough utility, but more often than not, he's going to go down pretty quickly. The guy at the back of the site is not long for this world, and then it does leave a retake. And you see Warwick Stretchy Boys with the confidence they are going on the hunt to try and take the AWP out of Mystery's hands. It looks like he's going to live to fight another day, though. Another
point is looking at the cash, because of those close rounds that we've had, especially that 1v1 in the previous, it has meant that Barthay's economy is not as strong as perhaps it would first seem on first look. You could say, oh, they've won four rounds in a row. They must be making mega bank. They have the money in reserve. But no, since the rounds have been so close and weapons have been taken away, look at the force play they have right now. AWP, Scout, FAMAS, two FAMASs, a Deagle, not very much utility. So Warwick have a very good opportunity here to break the bank.
Yeah, it's super expensive to keep rebuying your stuff on CT side. So it's not enough to get 4 rounds on the spin. You also need to make those rounds comprehensive. And you know, often you'd be up against eco bashes, and you can make that happen. But Stretchy Boys have been doing well with their economy and have been able to keep going with the weapons and putting some kills on the board, if nothing else.
Warwick are going to be poking and prodding more towards the A side, as instead they'll back off of that position. If they make any noise here as they try to back out of A main, then Rowan is definitely close enough that he'll be able to hear it. I have to wonder if Warwick's actually sending one over the boost here. It definitely seemed like they were stacked up in that particular corner. Yes, there's MFX up here with the smoke, with the flashes, the Molotov, so this is definitely a mid-take coming through, but do they expect the player under boost? And, well, no, they haven't, but MFX does eventually check it, so Rowan will go down, mid-taken then by Warwick Stretchy Boys. The flash will go on towards the highway position, but SOS playing very, very, very passive in this situation. He does have a teammate with him. That's going to be Riku at car with also another rotator as well, Deep Fry there with Mystery there, excuse me, with the AWP. And Mystery will find two. He finds Nigel and MFX. Can he find the third then? No, he does not. He just gets completely smoked off as still Warwick are committing to this A site. Bomb will go down then as Mason tries to back off towards quads, as Buff now will approach this 2v3 retake. Riku, he's been so good over the opening rounds here, but I don't think he fancies it. He'll just back off through CT, and another round going in the way of Warwick, and a saved AK and AWP for Buff.
Yeah, definitely. Better stuff, better stuff from Warwick Stretchy Boys. Mystery still picked up a couple of AWP frags, but they'd already got a couple of players round towards the site and got full control of that. You know, that boost that they thought they might have been able to get away with Rowan, Rico's already shown his hand there, and it doesn't help that he's the strongest player on paper in the team, and he is that much further away on the scoreboard. They will be checking all these little angles. He showed his hand super early on in this game, within the first 3 or 4 rounds, so they're going to be looking for those positions now.
It's well, I was going to say yet another force, but it seems like they've kept the money somewhat in order on that Bath side. They have that AK and that AWP saved from last rounds. They get upgraded pistols on 2 other players, SOS only having to do with a USPS. So it's more of a B-sided stack right now as Original G picks up Mystery very, very early on the A site, and Rowan will go down as well. So very, very quickly, 5v3 in this situation. A site is completely open, so if Warwick just walk themselves up highway, well, they won't meet any resistance at all.
And will be super comfortable for them. And I think now Warwick Stretchy Boys have figured out that they can get mid control. And from there, it opens up the A site. They're to go anywhere near Mystery with the AWP, who's on a bit of a tear so far as well. And then Rico, he's jumped away from mid. I guess the plan for that is so that he's available to help out when it comes to retakes. But I would maybe like to see him continue to be working in the mid area. It is an area where I think you need your strongest player, especially against a squad with the strength of Warwick Stretchy Boys. And you know, it's good to see that they are also going on the hunt. Good bit of aggression, and they are not short of confidence, even how the beginning of this map went.
SOS looking for the exit frag, but unfortunately meets with the AK of MFX, as this round will get very quickly over and done with. Warwick is still trying to hunt for the frags, trying to deny those safe weapons, but Deep Fry manages to find Nigel. He'll get shot, though, by MFX, picking up those 2 frags right at the end of the round. Will Rico hold on to this AK? As long as he doesn't get tagged down too far through that wall, he should be okay, and he is. But look at the scores right now. We've got Rico on 10 frags and Mystery on 9. We've got that is the standout performances that Bath really need from their star players. It has resulted in them getting a very good early start to this game, but this is crunch time now with yet another bye round.
So they've taken an absolute pasting on the money once again, and Rico has taken his mid position, but they've got 1 pick already. Will they be looking for vents? Well, yes, they've used that already.
Fry.
Nice work from Deep Fry, though, as he picks up 2. And Rico, they get the crossfire in. Tidy work from those 2. And I'm surprised that the Stretchy Boys got caught out by that.
Yeah, very surprised. They know that some of the Bath players do like to play very, very close in their mid positions, but that time it didn't work out for Warwick. They didn't get the frags that they needed, but towards the A site, they will decide to look. Original G looking for the opening pick. He does miss the shot on towards the player on the site. It does give him a little bit more space to work with to be able to get out. The rotations already coming through towards Car. There's SOS holding strong on towards the A site. Fantastic close range AWPing there from Original G. Bomb will go down, but he's against 3.
And we'll be able to get the plant. He's got a player close. I think. Oh, tidy. I think he wants this round. He wants to win it, doesn't he? And if he can get that player over towards Car, then there's a long rotate coming in from out towards A storage, I think it is. So this is doable. Rico, the man of the hour. And Smoke is going to make sure that his route in is taken out. And there goes the second frag. All down to these 2.
Yeah, Original G brings it down from a 1v3 to a 1v1. Can he find the one more frag needed with his AWP to get this round clutch? On top of the container is Rico. He looks for the player, but Original G manages to make it work in the 1v3. Clutches the round from Warwick, and that's exactly what they need from the AWP. Original G has been so quiet throughout the NUEL season, and if there's a time to turn on, it's going to be this time.
Yeah, the pure confidence, and from as soon as he got that sight control and got that shot from roundabout red, the way that he was going about it, it was saying straight away, I've got this, lads. He's not going for the plant, get the $800 and the like. He's looking for the frags that he needs. He's trying to get the information, the sound cues. You know, they say only deal with the players that you know about, the locations of where they are. The others you can deal with as and when they come into the site. And he was going for frags first. If I get a bomb plant after it as well, bonus, but yeah, solid stuff. MFX may have a frag early doors on Rowan, and does, who keeps showing himself in mid.
Yeah, Rowan just poked an arm out from the angle. Deep Fry coming under pressure, trying to play headshot, try and land those 1Ds, hitting the shoulder right now as Nigel will finally step up. Fades will also get the kill on towards the B site, so that is completely open for business. Rico spots one going into useless, but not able to get the kill on towards MFX. It's only SOS with a, well, it's going to be a 5-7 armor. Not very likely at all, but we've seen crazier things. But Warwick, they're looking to take the lead here.
Yeah, and they'll be putting in a mini little reset into the economy as well. It's going to knock Bath back enough, and they will probably not go for a full buy next time out. And the trouble is, if you do keep forcing on CT side Mirage, the utility is super useful for these key areas like mid, for example, and it makes it so much easier to take that. Gives you control and plenty of choices for how you want to proceed on for the rest of it. For the Stretchy boys, fair play to them. They have had a little talk, and they've realised that they need to commit a lot more to these bomb sites where they're getting the opening gambits, and you know, it's working well for them. I think that's 5 rounds on the spin now.
SOS finds a kill, finds an AK. That one will be very important, saving that weaponry in towards the next round. It does look like that Bath will get themselves an okay full buy. We've got full utility on towards Rico. Mystery will only have to get himself a smoke with that AWP, but the rest of the team have all of the utility that they need to stop any of these pushes up on towards the site. So a gun round on round number 10 it is then, and what's going to be the plan for Bath, especially to try and get themselves back level and back in the lead, but that is not the plan at all, as MFX finds 2 very quick headshots on the players push through A.
Yeah, I don't really get that. You go and get the weapons, which you've had to scrimp and save for, and then you go and YOLO out of A main. I can get trying to put a bit of pressure on, but you would normally want to do that through Squeaky with a few flashes into the A main to give you that opportunity to go through the door without giving the game away. Very risky play, and you know, MFX will quite happily spray down those 2 players moving in that direction. And you know, this is a dangerous situation for Bath 8. Their economy is going to be broken from this, aside from SOS, who's got some money to drop something if they wanted. And then they've got to then build it back up. But there won't be many rounds left if this goes against them.
Mystery will find the first AWP kill. Can't land the second, though, as he gets sprayed down by Mason. MFX will take Riku out of the equation as well. 1v4 potential retake for SOS, unless he does decide to save the AK. Original G posted up on this angle, which is so strong for an AWP, but sometimes you don't really expect that sort of thing coming up towards the heaven side. But SOS will finally go down, and Warwick will survive with 4 players as well. They've got what looks to be 3 players over 10k in cash, so they have buys pretty much up until the end of the half right now, so they don't have to worry and conserve their money.
For sure, yeah. They've set themselves up very nicely to keep on buying on throughout. And they've got the tactic for the B now as well, after discussing things. You know, Mystery with your... It's unlikely he's going to take out a full squad anywhere near every single time. So they're saying, okay, let's just get in his grill then. And that's exactly what they're doing. He's getting 1, maybe 2 frags out of it, but they're able to swarm him en masse. It's why the Glock is so useful in pistol rounds, for example. There's a stack load of you and a lot of bullets raining down. It's a very difficult situation to flick to all. SOS again tries to get aggressive in lockers, but he's taken down. And is that Rico? Yeah, he tries to do the same thing, set up the crossfire, but there is too much pressure from the Stretchy boys.
Yeah, A-sided stack right now. They only got one player on B for Bath, but still, Warwick will just poke and prod places on the map. But the thing is, they've got the opening on towards B now, and the bomb is on that side of the map, so the rotates will have to come in now from Bath. With those deagles, they can work so many wonders in the right hands. But other times it is very, very easy to whip with the weapon as well. Riku not landing the shot on towards Nigel. Rowan will pick himself up a kill. Deep Fry as well. So all of a sudden this starts to become a little bit more possible for Bath, but not if Fades are going to get kills like that in towards mid. Completely denies Deep Fry any chance at retaking this bomb site. Now Rowan's going to just start to find himself boxed in right now as he will get pushed from Z. He will also have not an exit route through towards the site either. So that's Warwick Stretchy Boys up towards 7 rounds. So Bath, they had that fantastic start, but now things are starting to get away from them a little bit late on in their CT half. Warwick starting to gain that momentum, and that is the scary thing. Once this Warwick side gains momentum, you're going to have a very tough time stopping.
Yeah, definitely. Enrico struggling a bit. He's in a couple of 50-50 spray downs and lost them. And managed to miss a shot that last time out as well, so he's feeling the pressure of it. And perhaps most worrying of all, I've seen Bath a couple of times on this map. Their CT is generally their strongest area. They're perhaps a little short on ideas when it comes to their T side once in a while. So if they can't put a half-decent score in, 8-7 would be nice for them if they can win the rest of the rounds and win the half. Then they would still be fairly comfortable. But I haven't got that much faith in their T side on this map from what I've seen so far.
We'll just have to wait a couple more rounds to get to see Bath's CT side, as once again spread defaults out from both teams, just waiting for those early options and those early picks to then have a little bit of a talk, a little bit of a decision being made, which side they decide to attack and which strategy they decide to pull out of the strat book as well. Original G just waiting for any aggressive push up through A main. MFX and his teammates will decide to slowly but surely take this mid position. They will have a little bit of pressure from Deep Fry, at least if he wasn't smoked off with that AUG. So maybe Warwick now will start to have a look towards the B side of the map, and this is a good read right now for Bath because they have rotated 2 players over already before Warwick has shown any presence.
This is an interesting gamble, but it might well pay off unless Fades can go in huge. Had the chance to spray down 2 players, didn't take it, but Original G with Yorp is about to come in huge. MFX with the spray down had the opportunity to win it all for his team, but it's Original G 1v1, bomb in hand, AWP in hand.
He's already won a 1v1 clutch. He does get spotted out from SOS. Original G on top of the box now. Will SOS expect that sort of play? Close range with the AWP isn't really the best idea. He gets tagged down to 19. Pistol pulled out now for Original G. He tries to tap away, tries to juke him around the box. Original G once again 1v1 1.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think that's maybe a tougher situation than the first one to be in when you've got a player that has the that is that close quarters with you. It is very much in the favour of the CT in that situation, and maybe Original G had an inkling or got a call from a teammate that he'd got the leg shot there, and that allowed him to whip out the pistol. Instantly gives him that extra manoeuvrability that you don't always have with the AWP. Kind of negates the disadvantage you have of trying to use it as a close quarters weapon. And Rico, that he could come up huge here potentially.
Oh no, he's completely let Nigel pass by, and this is all about the timings right now for Rico, and he does find the timing, at least onto Nigel. MFX looking a bit confused about where that came from. He does suspect that it might have come from the garage. That call would have been passed over as Rico tries to find yet another angle, yet another player, and right now he just can't find MFX, who's sitting under the boost. Fades will get 2 kills as finally Rico will peek out, and MFX, well, he'll get away with his life as Fades saved him in that situation, but that could have been so much more damaging for the Stretchy Boys, but they didn't get that issue sorted out. SOS looking for a play up in towards the A main side of things, but Mystery, 1-man deagle, no armor, no kit. doesn't look like it's going to be a thing as Fades ace. Well, completely aces the round. Absolutely brilliant performance.
Unbelievable stuff. And I can completely sympathise.
Triple AWP.
Yeah, triple AWP setup, which is unbelievable given their financial situation. That stripped them bare with 2 remaining rounds. But I think that situation where Rico got the shot from behind, the call from that is probably going to be, he might have been connector, he might have been behind, who knows. And then Fades is like, right, okay, let's not mess around, gets himself up on the boost, cleans out the 2 guys who are waiting for him, and then Rico's got nothing left. I think Rico needed to have shown his hand a bit more, peeked out again, and tried to make that shot on the guy under boost. Otherwise, it gave them the opportunity to get up and save that guy, and then take the mid control straight back. So, now what could have been a brilliant play didn't turn out to be too much. These 3 AWPs, though, I mean, you've got no flexibility, no real opportunity to rotate if anyone gets in trouble here.
Yeah, and the retakes would be so much more difficult with those AWPs in play, but Mystery has been one of those players so far this game that can really make that AWP work on a site hold, and once again, he might just have to do it here on the B sites. And Warwick are playing so passive right now. They do not want to peek into the AWP that's playing on the back of this site right now. Smoke will go through. Player will be spotted in heaven as Nigel tries to creep up. Fades will get the opening kill on towards the site. Mystery will burn alive in the fire as Nigel will finish him off. A quick push through towards the tree room as well from Warwick will deny some of the rotates coming in from this position. And I think they expect it as well. Nigel being very disciplined. The only route that the CTs can go from that side of the map now is heaven as Mason picks up 2 kills in mid. Nigel will finish it off as well for 10-4 for the Warwick Stretchy Boys coming into the final round of the half.
And starting to look like a different class. They are finding the faces with very quick succession, and Mystery is trying to play in a very low percentage way over towards the B site. He's under pressure from there. Maybe he needs to drop up towards Nest and change things up a little bit and maybe play even like a retake B kind of setup, which maybe work well. Oh, wow. That didn't go well, did it?
Yeah, he's been doing that so many times, and I think the Warwick boys are just starting to expect that every single round. Mason knows that one is pushed through towards the squeaky side, but the thing is, Rowan is there to be able to trade out as well. So 3v4 situation right now as Phage will try to tap away there at the Deep Fry, but Deep Fry with that A1S, not his usual AUG, perhaps can really afford the extra $50 in that situation. As Mystery picks off one, that's the AWP in the hands of Nigel just going away. So that is a fantastic play from that Mystery. Mollies off, actually manages to escape there. That is very close indeed. Playing close towards the edge of the fire with that UMP, making those close angles to getting his concerns to his advantage, but a well-placed Molotov there from Original G will flush him out of that position. 2v2 now with only a grenade on that CT side to stop any push onto one of these sites.
Yeah, and another mistake there, I think, from Mystery, who should have just carried on trying to frag at that point. Dropping back in and letting them play rope-a-dope with you when they've got time on the clock. It just means that they can take their time, move back out to mid and choose where they want to go. And they could still wrap through connector and go into B like they were planning for. If Mystery keeps fragging, well, 1, he might get a kill, and 2, it might prompt them to then push in towards the B site. Also, it would maybe take a bit of time off the clock as well. So now they've got a tougher retake over towards the A site. They will try and split 1 for 1. But with the way that Warwick Stretchy Boys are, they'll probably just rip their faces off with these 2 AKs.
That could be the call. They have 4 flashes to work with as well, so they can just completely blind these Bath players as they try to work their way onto the site. Rowan very conscious of every single angle. MFX playing close in the safe plants here. And there we go. There's the walk into the crosshair from Deep Fry, quickly traded out by Original G. And once again, it's Original G clutching these rounds for Warwick that could so easily go Bath's way.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3, isn't it? That's 3 that he's picked up. And I was talking to someone earlier, and they're saying it's going to come down to some clutches here from Rico. This time it's clutches from Original G, who's woken up. Not really had the strongest season, I think you can say. The whole split, he's been pretty quiet compared to what we saw last time out. But what a time to step up. And then a great cameo from MFX as well, nearly dropping the 20 bomb.
in towards the second pistol round of the first half then, and this time, what can Bath do on their T side? But MFX finds the head of Deep Fry, can't find the head of Rowan though, so it's just 1-for-1 trade right now, very early on in this second pistol round. That smoke will go down up towards Highway, as again, Bath will decide to get themselves towards A. There are no players playing at the close angles on towards A, but the long angles is where that USPS really does the shine against the Glocks, as Mason will try to tap away. He only finds a body shot on towards Riku, finds one on towards Rowan as well, but those are only tags and not the headshots that he needs. The bomb will go down.
Well, I think Warwick Stretchy Boys can look back to maybe not stepping away from that mid pick. If you get the numbers in your favour, you don't need to keep on challenging in those situations. You know, you don't have to worry about the pressure so much. But let's see what they've got in the retake. Fairly decent spread. This guy, Rico, he's quite isolated. Nigel tapping away finds two. Mason catches one as well. Defuse is going to come in, and Rico, I think, again, made the wrong choice, stepping away into A main. He was in a bit of an exposed position, and you know, from there, you just got to do what damage you can.
Yeah, basically he was spotted as he was trying to get on towards the sort of Shroud Cubby there. And, you know, once Warwick have seen that, that is pretty much a position that you can't really easily get yourself out of. The only escape route out of there was basically through the smoke and in towards A main, which didn't really put him in an ideal position to try and defend against the defuse. But Force Spy going to come out right now for Bath, using that new economy that we have here in CSGO to their advantage to get themselves a good couple of AKs out. We've got Galils and we've got a Deagle as well, and only a single smoke there on Deep Fry. No armor for him as well. He's going to just run out, probably play a little bit of bait with the Deagle.
Yeah, and that's quite an effective tactic. I was playing with an Icelandic guy who spent about 2 hours warming up before every game at I-61. He got 40 bombs pretty much with us just baiting out for him and him just stepping and tapping away a lot over towards the B site, and he did it about 3 times. You know, sometimes the bait is super useful on this map. SOS opening his account here in the second half with a kill on MFX, but same thing as we saw from the Stretchy Boys early doors, not committing to it too quickly at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. Some smokes will go down on towards the A site, and well, the response from Warwick will be a single Molotov down towards the squeaky side as still Bath. All 5 players are here. All 5 players running out. Fades finds 2 to defend the site, and finds 3 actually as Mystery and Rico will prize open the site with heavy losses on that Bath side. It's a 2v2 situation. Weapon advantage will be with that Bath side unless Original G can find an AK in towards that A main side. But Nigel pretty much has the bomb planter trapped in this situation, and Original G sneaking up with that MP9. He does find a Galil, not the most ideal of weapons as Nigel will find the kill.